Now this should work. Now this should work. Alright, sorry for keeping y'all waiting. There is a lot of things going on this week. I don't know if there's gonna be any battles, but we're gonna find out. Oh boy. Let me go ahead and get started here. Let me go and grab the stuff that we need. Let's see. I have to go here, and then I have to change this to display capture. Cool. So looking at the map currently as it is, there is a lot of stuff here. You can see here that there's quite a few things going on around here. FNS, FRM, and UASA are currently it's currently a 2v1 it seems. Things aren't looking very good here. UASA is losing a lot of territory. Going up here, we can see that there's not really a lot of combat going around here, but there's definitely lots of exploration. That could change through this area though, as there's a lot going on here. Over here, of course, you got some exploration here, as there's multiple different people around here, exploring in their own ways. Things can get very interesting. Then over here in the Zentanir system, there is a lot going on. And I know a lot of people might want to fight for this planet. As this planet seems to be really good for a lot of different things. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna go down the list. I've already shuffled which factions are gonna go first, and we're gonna go in and take a look at which factions are gonna be doing what. So first on our list is gonna be FNS right over here, and they've got a lot of things they want to do. So starting right off the bat, they're going to be taking one of their fleets here. So they're going to take this shipyard here, and they're actually going to return it back to FRM here. Just give the ownership back. There we go. Then what they want to do is they want to take one of their fleets. Which fleet is it? It was a fleet called Q1, which should be down here. Yeah, Q1. And what they're going to be doing with this fleet, they are going to be moving this to G2. So 1, 2, 3. They want to take it here to this planet here called Cumos. I think that's what it's called. So their territory is going to have a weird angle of expansion here. It's going to just extend this over and make a few of these here. Their borders is going to move around here. That is going to be this one here. Okay, so now they have control over that area there. Then what they're going to be doing is they're going to be taking Task Force Quantum here, and they're going to be moving it down to G5 to try and take this shipyard here. So we're going to see if a battle or something happens here, so we'll wait for that. And what they wanted to do here is they actually wanted to split this into multiple different fleets here. We're going to take this. Just a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so they want to split up into a whole bunch of fleets that we're gonna like divide from here, and they're gonna move it all across here. So 1, 2, 3. They could spread it all around here. Let's go and name these appropriately. So it's 2, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they want to make sure these are all just distributed around. So let's just go and move these all around here. Yeah, they're just gonna try to take over the whole planet all at once here. That's a lot. And let's see here. Okay, I'll just get all these. Things here are gonna get very ugly very quickly. So that's gonna be one heck of a force here. They'll try to take over all of that. And what they're also gonna be doing, if you go up here, they're gonna take this one here. They're gonna split this in half. And this one is moving to where? So from here, it wants to move to 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah, it's moving here to this shipyard. This will take a moment as there's just a lot in this fleet. Yeah. Okay, that is a whole lot, but that should be accurate. So that is all of that moved around. Already we've got a lot here. Now moving over to the next faction here, which is KLC. They wanted to move their ships through the portal here, which means this portal here is actually going to open up. And this fleet is going to end up right up here. That's it for their turn, so they can't really move at the same time. Now, NSO, which is currently this faction here that's being invaded, they have a lot they want to do. They're going to immediately just do some research, I guess, with all the stuff that they've got. So they wanted to max level their ion thrusters, or get to a certain level. Yeah, so they're boosting up to the max, which will be up to level 25, so they're getting everything there. That is a lot. I have to go and grab the research breakthrough for that as well. I'll go and throw this into the into things here. All right, where is it? It'll be research breakthroughs. Here we go. So there we go. They have magnetic propulsion now, which is cool. What else are they doing? It's going to be interesting. Okay, it says here they're taking a loan from some factions. I have to go over and check their actions to see if they have confirmed that or not. Okay, and what else? There we go. So that's gone through. And there's a whole lot of trading going on here. I'm gonna go look at the map over here. Alright, this is gonna be kind of chaotic. Here we go. So from here, it's definitely a decent amount of things here that want to be registered. So let's go ahead and get that done and over with. Let me get a snipping tool for this. That's definitely going to be a problem. Uh, yeah, it's definitely a problem. A pretty big problem. Alright, so I've got a bit of a small problem here. So they wanted to register two different ships, but they forgot to do the registration for their ships. So all they submitted was blueprints, but they didn't submit, the important part, which is, this thing with the registration where you get like the exact material values. So as a result, they can't really use the ships because we don't really know what the ships cost. And they didn't attach the images to the workshop pages, and they didn't send me they didn't send me the information for the ships either. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate there. So they can't even register those just because they didn't even do the registration. They can't build ships, but they can continue to do research, I guess. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else they want to do? Because they're just doing some more research, capacitors, and then they want to research particle accelerators. And they're going to jump into uh, photon cannons. And they want to throw a whole bunch of research into that. They wanted to get this up to level 22, which is a lot. But at level 22, that means they'll be able to get everything that's there. And they're going to go in further. You'll see what's at level 23 here, which is just pretty good. But other than that, they're unable to build anything because they didn't even bother doing the registration, which is kind of important. Yeah, that's not good at all. That's really bad. Because of that, that means that they've basically lost this planet. Let's go and grab this color here so I can just go and get this. Yeah, this whole planet here already got taken out, so they've basically lost their planet. They're gonna have to respawn, unfortunately. Yeah, that's a massive loss for them. Ouch. That is really unfortunate. So now we're gonna go to the next faction. GDA, which is currently over here. GDA is currently over here. What they wanted to do is they wanted to go to Exolia here. So we're just gonna move them over here. And they're gonna go ahead and they're going to start their next extension of their empire over here. Neat. And that's gonna be in the Myla system. Alright, so now they have that. What else are they doing? They want to do some upgrades real quick. So let's go and take a look at that in a moment. We're just going to update where their fleets are at. They are going to be upgrading Eridus, which should be right over here somewhere. Yeah, one of their planets over here, so let's go take a look at that. That is in the Chronos system. And what do they want to do? They already have it at level 1. So that doesn't really do anything. Alright, well, that's it for them. What else? We're looking at MC, this faction here. What they're going to be doing is they're going to be moving to J11. All the way in the corner, basically. So, 1, 2, 3, all the way over there. So, nothing too much, just basic movement. UNE is still not doing anything. I'll probably send them a message after this turn to go and see if they are continuing to play or if they just want to opt out. Let's see, SBI. Where's SBI? SBI is over here. Hold on one moment. Let me check something real quick. Actually, hold on. I just noticed something here that's actually kind of interesting. Technically speaking, there is a chance that they might be able to save this planet here. So this right here, we're gonna have to move it back a bit. Because I did notice something. Hmm. So SBI and NSO might have actually have worked together to create ships that they're both use, like shared. Which is gonna be interesting. So there is a possibility that they could survive this. Let's go just move this back over here just in case. You can move that back if they lose, but we're gonna go and take a look here. There is a chance here. So technically speaking, what might have happened here, SVI decided to, yeah, they joint design ships together. Only one of them has supplied the registration information because they're using it for the same ship, if that makes any sense. So maybe one of the ship designs might actually be able to be made. But in order to confirm that, what I need to do is I need to actually get these. So let's go and figure out which faction this is. Let's go ahead and figure out where the registration thing is here. Yep. So, I don't need this for now. I'm going to need to go over here to the ship registry and go and put it in the exact ship design here. And then we're going to need to get the information, which should be here. There we go. With that, there is a chance that NSO could actually survive here. Except, hold on. Okay, so if this is correct, they're going to be making some here. All right, let's go ahead and actually set this up here. So they've managed to build 3 of these, and they're going to move these around. Okay. One of these is going to be going to here, which is going to be interesting. There's going to be a battle here for this planet. Whoever wins this fight will be taking this planet, which is going to be interesting. The second one here. Yeah, it's going to be going here, so you'll be taking that planet. The third one is going to here. Things are not looking good here. So they don't have any defensive fleets here. They weren't able to build their other ship yet, unfortunately. But we can check real quick if the other faction is going to register it or not. I don't know. If another faction does submit the stuff for that, then it's possible, maybe? I mean, meantime, we're going to leave this as is, knowing that there's a battle here. And over here is just more expansion going on. While that's going on, I'm going to go ahead and mark that this planet here has been taken. This would actually be their only territory over here. That is if this planet isn't taken, so that'll be interesting. And this planet probably might get taken, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and mark that this planet has been taken. So NSO isn't out of the fight just about yet. That's something. And let's see here. Going back to SBI over here. They're a bit short on materials here. Yeah, they're a little short on materials. So let's see. Is that be enough? Nope. we remove one more, they should have enough then. Yeah, that'll just be enough right there. Let's go and just grab this here. So they can have their one fleet there, and that actually means their territory is going to expand a bit here. Just colliding with everyone else's here. And they're going to take this and just move it to the right. Right over here. So SBI's territory has definitely expanded a bit there. Now that they've gone to the space age and are actually able to travel, they've unlocked the Narian system, which doesn't really have a lot in it. Kind of empty, to be honest, but something at least. Let's go take a look over here. And it says that. Now, if we go over to IGI, we can go and see what they're up to. That should be this faction here. They're doing a whole lot of research. Just go on over here and take a look at what's happening here. First thing you're going to be doing is upgrading one of their planets here. If they have the stuff for it. There we go. Okay, now there's a whole lot of research they wanted to do. So first thing they're doing is they're going to research reactors up to about level 22, give them some basic stuff there. That allows them to actually start building better ships pretty soon. Then in terms of basic weaponry over here, let's see. Gain flamethrowers helps to at least get up there. Then they can research explosives, capacitors. Then they wanted to go over here. They wanted to get armor-piercing cannons. Nice. And then they wanted to get armor-piercing cannons up to level, or armor-piercing autocannons up to level 10, which is going to be interesting. Because I don't think people have really gone that far in that tree. So with armor-piercing autocannons up to level 10, that means that this part of the tree is actually going to go up. You can see that the first armor-piercing autocannon unlocks at level 13. I'll go ahead and get the breakthrough for that. Cool. So that's everything that IGI has done there. We're gonna look at UASA. They've got a couple things they want to do. This one here, they want to move it here. One, two, three. They're basically just moving past this, which is interesting. They're just trying to like bypass everything. Space is pretty vast, so they're just trying to completely just move through there. Yeah, they're just kind of just ignoring this and just going past. Though, technically speaking, let's actually see here. It's an interesting position here. Because for them to move in that direction, there, hmm. I don't exactly understand what they're typing there. Because they did the same thing last week, where they give a specific direction, but then like they want to also go in a separate direction at the same time. You can't move the same fleet in two directions at the same time unless you split into multiple smaller fleets. I mean, at least one of the other fleets that they have, they definitely wanted to split it. So let's go over here and take a look at it here. Okay, so this here, this fleet, they wanted to split it. There we go. So they're properly splitting their fleet and they're moving that fleet accordingly. Let's see, so this first one here, they're moving it up to here. The second one, they're moving it up to here. So they're taking this planet. The third one, moving it over here. And this last one is going to pretty much here. Yeah, so they're moving around like so. And of course, that means that their territory here has expanded. They're going to be taking their first planet here. Cool. And I'll go ahead and mark where all of these fleets have gone. Just that way it pops up on their map properly. Alright, cool. Is this in the same layer as this? Oh, these guys are on the wrong layer. Hold on. Supposed to be on the objects layer. Alright, that just makes things easier. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is they're going to go ahead and grab their fleet 9 here and they're going to split it. And then they're going to move those. Oh boy, it's going to be interesting. They're going to take one to battle here. They're going to take their other one to battle here. And the third one is going to be battling here. There's a couple different battles here on the Earth-like planet, which is going to be interesting. And they've got some interesting things that they're doing here. Okay, this is a weird dynamic going on here. And we look at the other faction here. I can send him a quick DM and see if this is correct or not. So I'll put that on a hold because I need confirmation from both factions to make sure like trading planets and stuff actually works. Can't just take only one faction's word for it. Let's see. This faction's also hasn't played in a while, so I'll probably send them a DM later to go and see if they're still doing things. For now, we're going to look at FRM, which is doing a lot. Oh boy, they are doing a lot. That is a lot. Okay, so that works. Um, okay. Then we've got a bit of planet research going on. Finally getting a basic research station on Earth-like. Okay, so now that we have that, there is a massive amount of research that's going on with this faction. So let's see if they have enough to actually do what they want. Level 28 reactors. Oh my goodness. That costs a lot. Then Gatling guns up to level 22. Batteries up to level 22. Hydrogen production over here. They want to get to level 33. So you're going to be getting the H2O2 generator. That is expensive. But they did manage to get it. Cool. Hydrogen storage. Oh my goodness, so you're getting that really high level. So we're going all the way up to level 41, which is a lot. That's going to move this down here. So they've unlocked the vanilla large hydrogen tank and all these other ones. That means they've also got the level 40 research breakthrough as well. That's a lot. Okay, and they're still researching even more. They're getting fueled flight up to level 33. At this point, they're just max leveling it. So you can see it just unlocked everything. They're going to go ahead and just max level, or are they going to max level this? No, they're not. So get in level 5 gyros. The elite gyroscopes are pretty powerful. Then what else are they going to be doing? Oh boy, they're going over to shotguns over here. They still have plenty of research to spend here. So let's see. Shotguns. They want to get to level 31. So they're going to get all the breakthroughs going up there. Past 10. Okay, they found the scatter shot. They found the glaive. They're going higher up through here. You know, a whole lot of them. They've got a lot of variety there. But they're going all the way to level 31. This is dragged slowly up there. My level 31, they don't quite have the mace combat shotgun, but they're close. They did get pretty much the entire tree exposed there, which is a lot. They pretty much just have all the shotguns to play with, except for the most powerful one. And they got 3 whole research breakthroughs for shotguns, which is great. I'll go ahead and grab those. That is a lot of research, and I think they're still doing research. Okay, they gain their armor up to level 11, giving them access to heavy armor. Oh boy, and then they're gonna unlock armor penetration. Superheated material. Just to slowly get around the tree there. They're gonna get capacitors. And then they're gonna jump straight down to energy weapons as well. Armor piercing railguns, they wanted to get that up to a really high level. So they're taking railguns up to level, where is it? They're taking armor piercing railguns up to level 21. They have a lot of research to spend. Let's go find the railguns here. Yeah, so they're taking this up to level 21. So they're going to have access to a bunch of different weapons here. Grab this and throw it up there. They've got access to a lot of these small railguns, the vanilla ones here. I've got a couple here. They've got the Warfare 2 railgun cannon. Yeah, they got both of the Warfare 2 railgun cannons. And at the next level, they'll be getting some of the larger railguns up there. They have options now, which is neat. I'll go ahead and get the breakthroughs there. That's a lot. And then they are also going to be upgrading, where was it? Shields? Yeah, just get to level 13 to get these small grid, small shields. Nothing too crazy, but looking at the tree here, that is something they can get there. Well, actually, they would have to get level 1 lightning guns for that, which they can do. But shields to level 13? Yeah, that works. I think that's all the research they were doing. That is a lot. So let's see what they're even doing. Fleet 7 here. It's moving to K5. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're just moving it towards that portal as fast as possible. Okay, more registration. Okay, and is that correct? Yeah, that should be it. I guess this their ship registered. They're gonna be building more ships. I gotta figure out which fleet this is because there's just a lot of fleets. I believe this would be fleet 20, I think. That's a lot of fleets. Alright, so fleet 20. Let me check something real quick. Okay, how many are they even building? Where is this fleet even going? I'm guessing they're just keeping that there. Alright, so there's that. Uh, Okay, so this actually has a name. Or make it a multiple, right? Okay, so there we go. So now it's all of that. Just a lot. Okay, so this one is staying there with this one. That's going to be really confusing. Squadron 6 here is going to be here. And they're going to move in it. Where are they moving it? Yeah, they're moving it here. This one's moving to here. And this one here is moving over here. They have so many just fleets just sitting around. That's a lot. Is that right? Let me double check this. Okay, so now we have that. Oh boy, and they're making another one. Right there. Oh boy, and then they're making even more. They have that shipyard there. That's a lot. So this one is staying there. This one here, moving up here. This one is going here. I assume this one's going here. Yep. I assume it's the same general lineup, right? Yeah, it's just a mess over there. And I gotta figure out wherever their next fleet is. The fleet they're referring to. Where is it? Where is that fleet? Here. So I want to take this one. And where are they moving it to? Yeah, they're taking it here to try taking that shipyard. And then they're taking this one and they're moving it here to try taking over more of that planet. Man, this is getting messy. But I think that should be about it for that faction's actions. And we're going to go and take a look at these battles eventually. Oh my goodness. Right now, this is just insane. Squadron 6 is going to H4. Hold on, let me read that. Squadron 6, where is it? Yeah, it's moving to H4, so it's right here. Is that right? Yeah, it's moving to H4, so it's here. You have 2 squadrons on that area. That's just a lot of squadrons just all over the place there, man. This is just wild. Alright, so I got confirmation over here about some interesting developments here. So there is a trade going on, but it's a weird one. Since these factions are kind of allies. They are doing a bit of a trade here. So this one here is going to be trading the moon here for Mars here. This is a really weird trade. But it should work. Yeah, so there's been a bit of a trade there, just for the planets themselves. The shipyard stays as it is, but that is something weird. So now we're gonna look at SYC, which is this faction up here. Okay, there's a lot of movement here. So first we're gonna be taking a look here. This one's over in here to Danavu A. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna take a look here. What's next? Fleet 5 here. They're splitting it, which is gonna be interesting. They say how they were splitting it. All they said was in half. It doesn't split perfectly in half, so we're just gonna do this. There we go. And they're moving stuff around. So one of them is going to here, to Nanaka A. And the other one is going to here, to Sonoto. There we go. Now this one, you want to move it to the left by 3 tiles. So 1, 2, 3. They're going to be taking Titania. Interesting choice. Just mark where all these fleets have gone. Okay, and what's next? I'm moving Fleet 1, wherever that is. Is that this one here? Yeah, just moving it all the way over there. It's just some movement here and there. And then, where's Fleet 3 at? I believe Fleet 3 was somewhere 2. I can actually check where exactly Fleet 3 is. Fleet 3 is located in D4. Here it is. And they wanted to move that to E2. So they're taking this planet here called Tharsis. Okay, and now they're going to be doing some planet upgrades here. So now we gotta find a planet called Arion. Let me go find where that is. I believe it's this one. And they're going to be building on it. Okay, and on the other planet next to it, they're going to be doing upgrade as well. Alright, then the last thing they're going to be doing here, they're going to be taking Fleet 8 and they're going to be moving it down here to Miranda. Alright, we've only got 2 more factions to go through, and then we can finally look at the battles here. SBR over here, what are they doing? They're going to be researching... where is it? Missiles. They're going to be researching them up to level 7. Which will give them access to those multi-concussion missile launchers. Uh, they barely don't have enough research for that. So that's unfortunate. They can't quite get it. As for DRF on the map over here, what are they doing? They're also just going to be doing some basic research around the place. Is this the same stuff from before? Alright, so, I think this is the same actions as before. Let me double check. Yeah, so they didn't update their actions at all this week, so there's not really anything going on. So they're just sitting there. Okay, I think it's time for us to look at all the battles, and there's just a lot. Oh my goodness. This is kind of ridiculous. Okay, so I think first things first has to deal with the obvious. All of this now belongs to this faction over here. Because they just didn't make anything to defend themselves properly. At least they attempted to, but they forgot to do the registration for their ship they wanted to build, so they couldn't even build it. Just going to just drag this back a little bit. NSO is now basically over here. And this planet here, Ingora, now belongs to... Yeah, that now belongs to a different faction here. Let's see... There we go. And so now that is transferred properly. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We're gonna go ahead and start with this battle here over Kumos, or Kumos, however you want to pronounce that. And it's basically just 2 simple fleets here going to battle here. Not quite sure how that's gonna go. Let me go ahead and get the Ironclaw Nebula set up here. Let's see. Here it is. And then I need to find the mod for that as well. It should be relatively quick. It's not that one. It's gonna be this one. Cool. All right. And then once that's done being loaded, we'll go ahead and take a look at the let's go and take a look at the battle that's going to be happening there. Looking at the map here, it's going to be basically Fleet 1 versus Fleet 1. I don't expect this to be too crazy of a battle. Let's go look at what that fleet exactly is. So on the FNS side of things, let's go and find the Q1. That appears to be two scout drones versus, let's go and see what the other one is. Two scout drones versus one Iron Claw scout, which is going to be interesting. I do find it neat that they named it after the cluster, so that will be very interesting to see. And this is going to be a space battle in the orbit of the planet. I'm going to go ahead and just grab this. So two scouts versus it's two scouts versus one ship. I don't know who's going to win this. It could go either way. Oh my goodness, the coffee is already starting to wear off. It is midnight for me now. And for you guys, it's probably, I don't know, 2, 4 a.m. Or maybe it's like the middle of the day for you guys. I don't know where exactly you're watching from. But this is going to be really chaotic, being the first battle in the Iron Claw Nebula. The Iron Claw has different, I guess, rules from the Lares cluster. So as a result, the battles operate slightly differently. They're still just space engineers battles, but like I guess some of the technical things in the battle, which small things can make a big difference in the battle. That might make certain weapon types more powerful or less powerful, or it could make certain like strategies more or less powerful. It really depends. And we're gonna find out how it works. Alright, here we are. Let's go ahead and spawn on that planet. That planet is gonna be Kumas. I don't know, let's get this like this size. Go and find. Yeah, it should be close enough. Green planet. Now, I don't actually know if these ships are space or planetary only. I think one of them is space only. So let's actually take a look here. These. And it's just one of these. Let's start with one of those. One over here, and let's go ahead and make this. Just like that. Then we're gonna go a short distance away. Let me make sure that AI is enabled because you guys have a habit of forgetting to do that. It's on. It's on. Okay. Let's go, I don't know, this far away, and let's go and spawn on those scouts. I think they're scouts. Let me check exactly what they are. Yep, it's gonna be this type. And there's gonna be exactly two of them. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get a spectating drone here so I can observe the battle. Let's make sure this is properly set to be neutral so I don't get shot at here. And we can let the battle begin. Let me go ahead and open up the chat here so I can see this. So right off the bat, these drones are gonna start moving along. It's weird that they move sideways, but I guess they're doing their best. You can see there, that drone is also moving into combat over there. It's this tiny little ship that's basically small grid versus these two over here. Oh, he's already taken damage. That's not good. I don't think he has a weapon anymore. Now he's just being torn apart by two. This is definitely not a fair fight by any means. Yep, there he goes. Well, that was unfortunate. It was a very short battle. Alright, so let me go and update this here. So that was a victory for FNS there. Let's go and just mark that as a victory. And for... where is it? Let's look at the map here. For NSO, that's a loss. They've lost their Fleet 1 here. Alright, let me mark this. Alright, that means that this is guaranteed to stay within within their grasp there. So that's that done. There's gonna be a whole lot of battles up here. So the first battles, where do I even begin? For one, this shipyard here is already taken over by this faction here, so it's going to grab this. There's nothing defending it, so that's already taken there. There's some battles going on here. Squadron 9 versus 10. Okay. What is 9? It is a single ship. And let's see. What is 10? I don't know if this is going to go well for them. Okay. So let's go ahead and exit the main menu. I'm going to go and open up the other world. For the Larry's cluster. That'll take a moment to load. It's gonna be a 2v1 again. I already think I know who's gonna win this. Let's look at the map here to go and see what these other battles are like. Um, this likely won't end well. I'm looking at this. I think if we wanted to really shorten this, because it's already a really long video, the easiest one to do will be Fleet 10 versus Fleet 13. Because all these blue fleets are exactly the same kind of setup. But out of all these, the one with the least ships would be Squad 13. So if Squad 13 wins against Fleet 10, then basically all these other ones are also just a loss for 11 and 9. A guaranteed loss, that is. So that's going to be interesting to see. Let me check. Yeah, this is going to be wild. I mean, I've already been here for what, like, yeah, the stream's already been going on for like an hour and 40 minutes. This battle here, you can see it's taking a little bit to load. If Squadron 13 ends up losing, then we will go to one of the other battles here. Most likely we're going to go into number 11 or 9. We can roll for it to see. Yeah, if Squadron 13 ends up losing, then we'll have to simulate the other battles, which I'm likely going to be doing this one here, 9 and 10. Actually, I might just have to do all of them if that's the case. But looking at how it is right now, this one probably seems like the fairest to line up. Because over here, they're just outnumbered. It really depends. I guess while I'm waiting, I can look around and see what the other battles look like, if there are any other battles. I don't think there's any other major battles going on anywhere. I'm gonna have to make a new world for the Aquarius Vortex. That's gonna have its own area there. Oh boy, things are gonna be kind of wild. I guess while I'm waiting for that, I'm gonna go ahead and set this up because, they do have that portal there. Set that up there. There we go. That makes more sense. Everything out here is just really chaotic. Also, because I have Miranda here, that means technically they just have this entire lower area here. I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Is anywhere else around here that they would technically have more space, I think? No, that makes sense. A lot of the new factions here are not doing particularly well against the older factions. That's to be expected. But they are able to keep themselves alive, which is neat. I know NSO is going to be very heavily in debt because of this, but they might be able to hold on for a bit with what they've got. Alright, let's see if the world is loaded. Indeed it has. Let me go and grab the lineup here. Which planet is this by? I don't even know. Hold on. This is a battle by Earth. Or the Earth-like planets. Just going to spawn that in. Alright, let's go ahead and set this battle probably over here. Somewhere around here. Yeah, should be fine. Let's go and spawn these in. So, we're gonna have one of these. I do appreciate the antenna because I could just do this. This makes everything so much easier. There we go. It also makes it easier for me to tell how far away they are. Okay, and let's go ahead and grab the other one over here. This is probably not going to go very well. Let's go about, I don't know, 3 kilometers away seems safe. It's going to be one of these, Mark III. Let's go ahead and grab a spectating drone. And we're going to go ahead and watch this battle unfold. It's going to be a 1v1. I'm going to just open up the chat here. Immediately we have combat. And that's a lot of damage that's been done already. Though it is in bursts. That small ship out there is pouring out just a whole lot of firepower. It's basically just firepower versus armor at this point. And that ship is just charging in sideways. Trying to get close enough to use its interior turrets. That's a lot of firepower. And this little ship is moving pretty quickly too. You can easily stay at a good range. But it's already starting to break through that armor pretty easily. We've already exposed some of the internals there. You can see those solar panels are being ripped apart pretty easily. And this ship is struggling to get close enough. Those interior turrets just can't reach far enough. It seems like they're trying to drag the battle towards the planet. And that drone over there is moving very quickly. You can see this larger ship is trying to get closer. If you can push him into the gravity, then it might actually give him an advantage. Yeah, those solar panels are definitely taking hits. See, it's losing more and more and more of its thrusters there. Things here definitely are not going well. Technically speaking, this battle could take place on the planet itself. Probably could have done that. Let's see. Oh boy, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, it's just completely outmaneuvering the larger ship. And those solar panels are basically just being torn apart completely. Definitely not looking good over there. There it goes, just tearing it apart. Its rear engine bay has been completely torn open. Yeah, it's gonna run out of thrusters at this rate. It seems like the battle's still trying to go towards the gravity well of the planet. I definitely don't think UASA is going to be winning this fight. FRM is definitely going to win this at this rate. They just outmaneuver and outgun their enemy here. So the enemy ship does have a lot more armor. It's mainly just delaying the inevitable at this point. Those ions just cannot keep up. Oof. Oh, it's just tearing the entire front of the ship apart there. Oh, there goes a piece of the ship there. Oh, that's all of his crew. That's not good. All of his crew have just been ejected from the ship. That's unfortunate. I think he's slowly entered the planet's gravity. Well, this one isn't quite there yet, but it's getting close enough. Yeah, that's kind of the problem with putting all your crew in one spot. It's easy to lose all your crew at once. I think he's trying to bring the fight into the planet's gravity, because if he could do that, then this ship will basically fall, because he's taking out a lot of its atmospheric thrusters. Gotta remove that tug drone there. Yeet. Those solar panels definitely not gonna last. Still trying to get closer here. All of the solar panels are pretty much just getting obliterated here. He's still removing a lot of those atmospheric thrusters. I don't even think he has atmospheric thrusters at all in that direction, which is a really bad thing. An entire chunk of solar is about to come off too. We've officially entered the planetary gravity. This thing's already falling like a brick. closer here, just so I can dampen to it as it falls. Oh yeah, it's gaining speed, just going down. It's just gonna be falling like a fireball at this point. He's taking out a chunk of his upwards facing ions, so he's just going downwards. Well, there goes some of his solar. It's detached. Oh yeah, he's free falling, for sure. I hope he has a parachute, because he's going down really fast. And that debris might just fall right up to him. You can see that ship up there is going to have to do some catching up. But it's very quickly, about 5 kilometers to the surface of the planet. Does he even have enough atmospherics? We're gonna find out, and that other ship over there is gonna try its best to catch up as best it can. I just realized he has no power because the sun's all over there. Oh, that's not gonna end well. Ooh, yeah, that didn't end well at all. Ouch. All right, that's a victory for FRM there. Yeah, too late for that. I don't even think he would have had a chance even with the sun. All right, so that's about it for that battle there. If we look over here, Dipper, which means that fleet 9, 10, and 11 just got completely wiped out. Earth-like over here is basically stays in FRM control. Let me go and grab those fleets. 9, 10, and 11 are all gone. There we go. So that is 3 additional losses. Their kill-death ratio has moved to exactly 0.5. And if we look at FRM over here, let's see here. So Squadron 13 gets a victory. Let's see, Squadron 10 gets a victory. Squadron 11 is going to get a victory. And Fleet 15 is going to get a victory out of that. So yeah, that's 3 more battles won, so that's going to put you up to 11 battles. Total ships destroyed, that goes up to 14. This is a kill-death ratio of 0.56, which is nice. There we go. Is there any other battles here? I don't think there's any other battles. I'm going to be really thorough here, just in case. Nothing here. Nothing over here. New territory over here, which is interesting. Anything else over here? I don't think there's anything over here. And as for over here, nothing new. That guardian there is going to prevent them from going back through. So, there's that. Yeah, that's about it. So that's what the current system looks like, and that should be it. Look at the tech tree. Lots of stuff has just been uncovered. I mean, looking over here, a couple new things here and there. I mean, we finally have working hydrogen ships, which is just insane. I mean, you unlocked the entire hydrogen and ion tech tree there, which is absolutely insane. Uh, okay, let me answer the question here. Do you get Mars? Not quite. You only took over half of Mars. The other half of Mars is still occupied, currently by KLC. So you're going to have to make an agreement with KLC if you want to take it, or you can just take it by force. I mean, technically speaking, KLC owns like this much of Mars, but I leave it like this just to show they own most of it there. I mean, hey, now that you have hydrogen, that means that you're going to be able to just completely outmaneuver everyone else. All right, let's see what else is out here. There's nothing defending it. You can literally just move both fleets down. If you move them both down by one, then you basically take over Mars. That's it. Basically, you just need to take over each tile of a planet in order to fully take it over, which is why people split their fleets up like crazy. So if you just move both fleets down by one, because technically you own these two, so if you move down here, you'll have the whole thing. Can they use the K10 jump gate? Are you talking about this one? Oh, this jump gate. You don't actually need to own the planets to use a jump gate. To use the jump gate, you have to take over the jump gate itself. It acts as its own territory. It acts similar to a planet. You just have to get a fleet over it to control it. So if you just take this fleet and you move over like, I don't know, one, two, three to that, then you automatically take it. I mean, as long as there's nothing defending it, you can just take it. And with that, you'll have access to the Iron Claw Nebula and the Aquarius Vortex if you take that. That's really your options there if you want to do that. I mean, look around to see if there's anything else that's really interesting. I mean, there's just a whole lot of fleets here. In terms of fleet organization, it's kind of insane. Can you use the home system shipyard? You can use technically this shipyard. You took it over, so yes, you can actually build from this shipyard. Yeah, because this fleet took it over. So that is your shipyard. So you can use that to go ahead and build more fleets if needed. Let me look around through here. Let me see. There's only a couple more planets here that have to be taken over in the Chronos system. Saturn system and the outer solar slowly being taken over. I mean, very, very slowly. The 9K system, most of it is being owned by SYC, but these other two factions are going to probably slowly start doing things, especially SBR. DRF forgot to put in or actions this week. They wanted to register a ship, but they forgot to do the actual registration part of it, so yeah. Let's look around over here. GDA is definitely doing some stuff over here in the Milo system, slowly taking it over one planet at a time. It's not doing too much. The Oron Xi system over here. UASA is currently just slowly trying to expand everywhere they can out here, going in every direction. So that's something. You can see KLC has also entered the system here, so they're going to start moving around as well. Starting next turn, they'll actually be able to move that fleet. Down here in the Ironclaw Nebula, Zentanir system, yeah, what's it called? FNS now has Angora, so they now have a really good planet and a whole lot of research. That's really good for them and not great for everyone else. Let's see, SBI has expanded to the space age, which means that they're actually able to, move around here. They've actually got a fleet up and running, and that means they can actually travel over here. Narian system, a bit empty, but they have some stuff. They got a weird planet over here, Florin 8. Just bright green. Got MC over here running away down here, and NSO, they managed to survive, barely. They have 2 surviving fleets and 1 planet. So they have Taika and they have Fleet 3 over here. So they have options for what they can do, but right now their situation is not looking too great. That's about it. Alright, is there anything else here in the tech tree that's been uncovered that's really interesting? I mean, gyroscopes, slow and steady progression through here. You guys are actually almost done researching all the basic things here. In terms of the weapon types, you guys are really going all over the place. I do like how some of you guys have started going for things like railguns and stuff. So it's gonna be awesome to see other types of weapons. Armor-piercing autocannons are gonna be something that'll be seen pretty soon. So for rapid-fire, heavy-hitting weapons, those will hit pretty hard. Railguns are also gonna be really powerful. I mean, this is already something insane. What else has been uncovered? Nothing new in the Gatling gun tree or the cannons. Um, Missiles, not much. Photon cannons over here. Some stuff, not a lot. Energy shields, not really anything new. Shotguns, you guys unlocked the whole tree basically, almost all of it. I mean, the fact that you guys have access to all this is kind of scary because these can do some serious damage. Yeah, that's plenty. That's about it, I guess. I'll go ahead and update everyone's actions for this week. Let me go ahead and move myself into space here and probably remove the planet. Let's see, planets, remove, there we go. Cool. Alright, that's about it for this week's video. I'll update everyone's operations for next week so that way you guys can start like planning out your actions. And yeah, I'll update the maps and everything. Alright, take care.